Got my legal hustle, welcome to the trap. I can blow a stack, bet I make it back. You can hit my line if you need a track, but we can't even talk if it ain't about the bag.
What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Seems like the holidays are bringing a lot of family feuds to the surface. Now, I just talked about how Bow Wow and JD are going at it. The Brad is calling Bow Wow out, telling him to pull up. He's being disrespectful. If you want to see that video, you can check that out. But before you do that, let's go ahead and talk about Lil Romeo, or Romeo Miller as we know him today, versus his father, Master P, aka Percy Miller. All right. Now, all of this was inspired by Stephen Boss, aka Twitch. Of course, he was reported dead a few days ago, and they're saying that this was via self-infliction. In the wake of that happening, Master P went on Instagram and wanted to share his condolences and talk about how you never know what type of thing somebody's going through with their mental health, and saying that that's something that really needs to be honed in on and spoken about in our community. However, Lil Romeo thought that it was kind of interesting, to say the least, and hypocritical, to say a little bit more, that he's so concerned about the mental health of Twitch versus his own daughter, who took her own life in the same way. He says that Master P basically ignored his daughter, Tatiana, with all of her mental health troubles throughout her life, and now all of a sudden he cares about the implications of poor mental health when it's somebody who's not even a part of their family. Now, if I was Lil Romeo and I saw something like that, I definitely would feel some type of way. I don't know if I would take it to social media to talk about it, but let's go to the actual quotes and get a little bit more in depth with Lil Romeo's issue. So the initial post from Romeo says, "Today was a boiling point. I seen a man avoid his own children's struggle with suicide and depression, but post another man whom passed away today that he doesn't even know. Y'all idols be lost. Better stop following the blind. Watch when it's revealed." So that's what Romeo said. Master P then followed up and posted a video of someone else saying, "Satan, you are a liar." He says, "I love y'all and Jesus loves you too. Keep being a blessing and more blessings will come to you." So he didn't give him a direct answer, but he basically was like, "I rebuke what you talking about in the name of Jesus," basically. And that's kind of what a lot of so-called Christian folk like to do. We won't get into that. That's another conversation. Romeo then follows up and says, "When others use their platform and voice, it's inspiring. But when I speak my truth, I'm told I'm disrespectful and entitled. For my family, I'm willing to be the villain, no, if that's what it takes, because no matter how long, good will always prevail. Just want to make it clear that I will always love my father, but it doesn't mean I have to follow him. I'm 33 years old. And for me personally, my feelings have nothing to do with the death of my sister. No one is to blame for certain decisions she made as an adult. Our family needed shaking way before that tragedy, and at least now I know she's finally at peace. I've dealt with death before, and it's inevitable, but my daughter coming into this world was my awakening of having to get things right from the start. If we don't learn from our parents' mistakes, then how do we truly grow? Just like one day my daughter will learn from mine. That's generational wealth. I can't force an adult to do something they don't believe, but the day my dad accepts to begin healing with his family with professional help rather than only just him is the day this family will begin healing. We've had the talks in private and now we are here. There will be growth from this chapter no matter the outcome. Blessings." So that's what Romeo had to say. Of course, I've never spent a day inside the Miller home. I don't know how things go, but just based on the public perception, the public persona, and the image that Master P puts out, I don't think that he would go to therapy. I don't think that he would be someone that's willing to go and do that. He seems like the prototypical alpha male. If there's a problem behind closed doors within the family, he feels like he is the patriarch. He is the one that can bring that problem to a cease. He can find the solution. And if he can't find the solution, then give it some time so that he can. You know what I'm saying? He feels like he is the hand of God within his household. And I can't say that he's not, because that is the way that he probably raised his children. But Romeo is now 33 years old. He's going on his own way and he sees things a little bit differently. Here's where things got to become a little bit more contentious, and you get to see a little bit more of the friction between Romeo and his father, Master P. Somebody says, "You set the foundation financially for the family, we can all agree on, but it's more to that than just money." That's my only gripe with the older generation. Just because money was put down don't mean it's enough. Other than that, I hope y'all solve y'all family issues privately. So somebody commented on Master P's post and was like, "Hey man, just because you brought money to the table for your family don't mean that you are not flawed." Romeo then chimed in and said, I've been taking care of my pops, bro. Never touched no little Romeo money. All went to pay off his IRS taxes. I've been more than loyal. The truth will set us all free, though. Now, that's a tough one right there. You mean to tell me all of the money that he made as a minor when he was at the peak of his career, going toe-to-toe with Bow Wow, rocking stages, rocking, you know what I'm saying, tours, going on TV shows, living it up, that all of the finances that he gained as a young man went towards paying off his father's taxes? Y'all do remember that Master P was millions of dollars in debt behind on taxes back in the early 2000s. So that's a tough one. He says, we've been living month to month since I was 18. This is a mirage. Jesus Christ. He then follows up and says, all my siblings are broke, bro. Never even had money to afford college, and nothing is wrong with that. He just shouldn't paint a certain life that isn't real. One big house to stunt in is a minimum way of thinking. So he basically saying Master P bought this beautiful home, raised his family, and although they've been struggling for the past 15 to 20 years, Master P has been putting out this image of being the ultimate boss. And me as an independent artist, I've always looked up to Master P. I guess I bought into the facade as well. And I'm not ever going to take anything away from him because he did set a very strong foundation when he did his deal with No Limit. He got the money. He got the artists. He helped put on some artists that really lacked talent, but he put them in a prime position to take care of themselves and their families throughout the course of their lives. He did a lot. So I bought into that. Romeo is saying, hey, man, he did some great things, but there's some other things that are under wraps y'all would never know about. I'm just going to let y'all in on a couple. So Romeo comes back with another post and says, this was my last straw, Pops. Stop trying to play the victim. I loved you so much that I followed you blindly for 30 years. You know we've talked behind closed doors. You aren't the man who you paint to be. And why is it war? Because I refuse to follow your lead. You only want to protect your image, but the image isn't even real. And I don't need anyone to feel sorry for me. I'm truly a man of God. If you are really a man of God, then you will prevail in the end, even when I share my truth. I've tried to keep things in-house. You are addicted to social media and unfortunately use this app as therapy. 3K plus posts. And when the world find out about the finances outside of a gift or a car, I've never been paid for anything I've accomplished as Lil Romeo. Uncle C and Silk know. You only pay outsiders rightfully so they'll speak good on your name. I'm at peace because I can now speak my truth and help others. Mom was always right. Your pride is everything. Now that's some heavy stuff right there. He say, man, you pay these people that you don't know very well so that they can go and uphold your reputation out in the world. But the people closest to you have not shared those same benefits. That's some real ish right there, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the side of things that people never really see. Kind of the side that you would never even think of. Like, shoot, the folks closest to me, you know, I keep them at arm's length. I give them just enough to survive. They'll never leave the nest. But folks that are outside of that fold, I treat them a little bit better because they're not going to be with us forever. And when they go out into the world and tell the story of my legend, I want to be larger than life. I want to be seen at that height. You know, Snoop Dogg speaks very highly of him for what he did during his time at No Limit. I'm not here to say what Master P did or didn't do. I don't know if this is the truth, but this is Romeo saying it. Master P replies, social media is not the space for healing. Son, I love you. Stop trying to get people to feel sorry for you and let's come up with a solution. You could come talk to your father and your family like a man. You have kids too. No family is perfect, but together with God, we can heal and get through this. Hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm not going to hold y'all, man. God ain't going to recover the millions that you took from him and paid towards your taxes, dog. If you did that, God, like, I gave y'all the resources the first time. Y'all did what y'all will, and now you got to sit in it. Now, if y'all want some more, y'all could go out there and shake your ass a little bit more, make some new records, come up with a new style, and maybe y'all think about doubling back. But y'all ain't finna be putting my name all up in this now. He says the new generation of kids need to stop blaming their parents for everything. How do they think they got to where they are without their parents making sacrifices? I'm not saying all parents are right or perfect, but I went above and beyond for mine and even asked for forgiveness. That's why this is disappointing. I wouldn't wish this on any parent, rich or poor. As a parent, I'm still growing. I'm giving this to God and taking accountability for my mistakes. Mental illness is real and so many families are tragically affected by it, especially when there is added trauma like death of a loved one. How do you ask for forgiveness and think that somebody can properly process it, right? If I'm a young man, if I'm 17, 18 years old, and my father comes to me and says, hey, son, I'm in debt. I owe the IRS $5 million. I'm just throwing a figure out there. I don't know what the exact number was. I'm in debt $5 million with the IRS for taxes. You made $8 million, $10 million, whatever it is, as Lil Romeo. I got to pay this money. I've paid what I can out of my accounts and what I've done with myself, but I need a little help. And your father takes all that money that you've accumulated in your youth that you were supposed to be saving for yourself. Now, at 18 years old, you might think that that's the right thing to do. You're stepping up for your family, and maybe that's the truth. But we're not talking about $1,000. We're not talking about $1,500, $2,000, $5,000. We're talking about millions. And now Romeo looks up at 33 years old, and he's probably reminiscing on what he probably could have done with that financial foundation that he laid for himself by being an artist. Not to mention his father put him out there to be an artist. We don't even know if that's what he wanted to do during that time. Master P made Silk the Shocker rap. Silk the Shocker was not a rapper. Why y'all think his flow was so different? I'm not saying that that's exactly how the story went. I'm just saying it's very possible. He may have seen his own son and was like, man, he could compete with Lil Bow Wow. Let's write him some raps. Let's get him in the studio. He got a similar look. Let's get it. We do this independently. This will go. And it went. But now that young man is grown now, and he's got his own way of seeing things. And now he can go back and reflect on things that happened in his life. And maybe he doesn't see it with the same level of intensity that he did when he was a child. Maybe he's not riding for no limit the way he was when he was a child, because he's like, man, this is a facade. I can't be mad at Romeo. My pops used to pawn my laptop every now and then for extra funds. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't be mad at it. He would always get it back from the shop. But it was a move that he had to make every now and then. I used to be pissed off. One time, the laptop never made it back. Me as an artist, I had a whole album worth of music on there. Nobody ever asked me, how you gonna get your music back? Did you have it on there? Well, you know what I mean? There was no solution. I just had to figure it out. I had to retrieve what I could from emails and stuff like that. Me and my father are good. It's not something I hold over his head. I mean, I got over it, but I'm telling y'all, because had it been $5-10 million, I might not feel the same right now, goddamn. It just goes to show how nuanced these types of situations can be. As it continues, Master P then comes and says, I thought this was about DJ Twitch and about my daughter's death. This is heartbreaking. You just exposed that this is really about money. I watched other celebrities go through this. I'm not playing into this anymore. God knows the truth. I'm at peace. I worked hard to get my family out the ghetto. Every time I fell off, I got up and went to work. I didn't blame anyone for my failures. You started this social media rant. So what's your plan besides showing the world you're entitled, spoiled at 30 plus, and throwing a tantrum on social media? I never claimed to be perfect. I'm not afraid to admit I'm still growing as a man and as a parent. Everybody deals with death in different ways. I get it. I'm just an ATM for this family. I don't care about an image. The bloggers can have their laughs this week. I'm going to keep working, keep praying, and letting God guide me. Mental illness is real. So many times when so-called Christian people are called into question, they always act like they just can give it to God and and the rest will work itself out. Avoiding all sorts of accountability, all sorts of taking responsibility for their actions, how they made someone feel, how they may have hindered somebody's existence. It's like, I know I'm not perfect. God will handle it. No, nigga, God ain't finna handle it. He finna handle your ass. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to look up and be 60, 70 years old and your family ain't going to be fucking with you, then what? Now, I'm not aiming this at Master P. I don't have a problem with him. I don't know him. But I'm just saying this is something that I've seen happen a lot. And people try to use this as a crutch. You know what I'm saying? And I can speak from personal experience because there was once upon a time in my life where I was a quote unquote devout Christian person. And the amount of hypocrisy that goes into that culture, into the church doors, you know what I'm saying, is really tough, man. Now, I did find a pretty cool church family at one point. They used to feed the people. They used to do all type of stuff. I thought that was really dope, but it's very rare that you find that, especially if you find yourself in a community of affluent Christians, I should say. At the end of the day, I hope that they do find some type of happy medium to come to before things get too deep. You know what I'm saying? Before they go throughout the rest of their lives at odds. I don't think it's worth it. Family is important, but if it comes down to it and Romeo has to make a decision for his own betterment, then I guess that's just a decision he has to make. Master P seems like he's not ready to deal with the implications of what his actions caused in his family. And overall, I think this is unfortunate. I'm not here to treat this as entertainment. I'm just here to talk about it and give my perspective on it. But at the end of the day, how they resume and how they proceed is up to them. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. I'll catch y'all on the next one, all right? Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.